Fawn
and Matt. We're an interracial couple with 2 kids wanting to do something that highlights the power of friendship and what it means to be in the company of true friends. We're going to move our society away and out of the loneliness epidemic and into a friendlier, happier world. Welcome to our friendly world. Better, stronger, together.
Ooh, had to turn on a fan, you guys. Hello, welcome back to our friendly world. Can you hear the fan? Maybe. Sorry, but sweating over here. Hello, everybody. So what's up, Matt?
I'm sorry. Ooh, I had a question.
Of me?
A question of you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know.
What is it?
I'm a little afraid that I'm not going to hear the answer I want to hear. I know the answer I want to hear, but I get the feeling you're going to say no. But so how often do you feel like you need to manage both my emotional and social needs? Like, how often am I needy and telling you,
No, it's not that you're needy, but I feel it on the daily, most of the day. Half the day, I would say.
you
on the
spend
daily.
thinking about my...
Absolutely. That's why I get mad at you when you say you don't care about me, or like you don't I'm not on the forefront of things that you care about. And that's why I get so infuriated, because I'd spend a lot of my time thinking about your well-being in every way. So, but I don't know if that answers your question, but to answer your question further, I don't find you needy, and it pisses me off even more. Sometimes I wonder if you were needy, maybe that would be better, because if I by chance happen to sneak in some advice into what I'm saying to you, then you get really bent out of shape. I don't want you to fix it, woman. I'm just telling you how I feel. You're training me not to tell you how I feel. So then,
Uh-oh, yes. That's my standard argument.
Does that
when we get
ring a
into
bell?
fights.
Does
Yes.
that ring a bell? Did I screw up your whole conversation right now?
No, you didn't. So anyways, there were some researchers. There were some
Your
researchers.
face right now.
Oh, this is going to be bad. Anyways, there were some researchers, psychologists, Stanford, and one of them coined a new word. It's called man-keeping, folks. It's like housekeeping, but for men.
I think of manscaping.
I know, so do I, but...
Which is gross.
Hold on. And they defined it as the unreciprocated work that women do to manage the emotional and social needs of men in their lives.
Yeah, I want to say minimum half the day. I think about it.
Well, you think about it, but are you doing?
I try. Most of the time I'm like, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And when it's the worst case scenario, that's when I seriously go into prayer mode. I did it for you on Friday, remember? And you're talking to a colleague. You're like, this thing totally just turned around. And I'm like, ahem. And then I was like pantomiming to you that I prayed for you. Remember?
He wasn't acting like himself.
No, I'm not. We're not here to talk about what it was exactly. I'm just saying I came up with an example. Usually I can't come up with examples of what I do for you, or like, you know what I'm saying?
Apparently I fall into this evil trap, and now I feel terrible.
No, you're not. Matt, you're not needy. I'm hyper wanting to help. Do you know what I'm saying? I love you so much, and same with our kids. All I do is try to make sure that I keep you guys safe. All right? Like, in every way possible.
Okay, and you're focusing on the emotional. Now we flip it to the social. So literally...
Oh, yeah. I don't have to worry about that, because now you have a huge crew of men that you hang out with. But yeah, in all the places we've lived, I've always, talk to Wendy, talk to my other friends. We're always like, ooh, should we set up the guys together so they bond? That was always my thing. I would start looking around and going, would that be a good friend for Matt? Is that Matt's best friend? Of course.
But I already have my best friends and stuff.
I'm saying before and
Even before.
No, because we didn't live near them. We were very alone. Hence our podcast. hence our whole friendship movement before the podcast.
But
right?
what these scientists noted was that due to
You should have rehearsed this before.
men especially have fewer friends and fewer networks and fewer everythings. And so they are leaning on their romantic partner to satisfy these needs.
Didn't we talk about that a long time ago?
But now we have a word for it.
Yeah, but we talked about that way before these whatever researchers from universities did it.
I know.
You all know how we feel about those researchers at the universities.
They put science behind it.
Oh my God.
Like the science
No,
stuff.
but we talked about this, how when you and I were discussing all the different aspects of friendship and loneliness and what's happening within our culture, that people who are married, we think it's a mistake to call that person your best friend or to have that person be your best friend, because you are in it together. You're each other's witnesses on everything.
Right.
That you really do need a break. Like when our baby almost died, when I almost died at the hospital, when you almost died at the hospital, sorry. But like all of that, you can't rely on each other to talk about things that deeply have scarred you.
Right.
You need someone else to talk to. You need the tribe. You need the circle, right?
Well, you definitely need
points.
someone for sure.
Someone
who's not as emotionally connected as you are.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It has to be more than.
It's like when you go to a friend for advice and they can actually give you advice, because oftentimes you get blinded by your own emotion to whatever it is.
Yeah, and if you're going through something together, even if there's two friends, you're going through it together, you don't have the perspective. You don't have the bird's eye view.
Right. Right. And it gets even worse because studies are showing that like 2/3 of American males are saying that no one really knows them well.
Well, yeah, because when you talk to your buddy, let's talk, like, for example, when you and Jim speak, and I've talked about this many times, when you get off the phone, I'm like, well, how is Samira? Because, big things were happening with her. And you're like, I don't know, we didn't talk about that. I'm like, what?
Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't.
No.
It's uppermost in our minds.
No, I understand, babe. But sometimes, like, I remember this was from years ago. Something big had happened, but you guys didn't talk about that. Because guys don't talk about the big things.
No.
Yes, you do. You end up talking about the scores for football or some other thing. And somehow it's in the context underneath everything, but you don't actually talk about the thing that's bothering you.
Well, hold on. That's because maybe sometimes we don't want to live in that space.
That's
and
why
we want
I'm
to break
saying
from that space.
that's
and we
why-
want freedom.
Yes, I know, but that's why.
Okay, let's full stop.
But that's
Kidding.
That's why I'm saying you don't have the same kind of in-depth relationships with friends as women do, because we totally like to discuss our emotions. And I know I'm putting everybody in a box. I don't want to do that. But okay, for those of us who, when something happens, we talk about it. We try to figure out what it is we're feeling. And we also release that feeling through talking about it. But I find that people like you don't talk about it. And so you're not discussing your emotions. You don't do that. And I think that's why you just have a different way of friendship.
Yes, very different. And also the way I release things is different.
I'm just saying.
Like you don't even know. I had quite the little fit this morning.
What happened? With who?
No, with myself. Thank you very much.
All by yourself?
Dealing with stuff.
What happened?
Doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with the podcast.
I knew something was off with you.
Doesn't
and you said
have anything
fine.
to do with the
and
podcast.
Here you go. I said, what's the matter? How's it going? And I knew something was wrong.
Everything's fine. Because everything is fine.
Because when I try to help, you get all bent out of shape.
Everything is fine.
Oh my God. Okay, we need to wrap this up because I need to find out what happened.
Half of men in the UK can't confide problems at all. And I want to say that I have seen...
It's because you come across as weak, you think.
I have seen the upshot of this being, and I do it, and people do it to me all of a sudden you'll find yourself in a conversation with someone and they are telling you about something that you don't care about just because they need to get it out. Okay? And so really it's called what? Trauma dumping. But
That's what our kid calls it.
well, that's what the world calls it.
Oh, really? Trauma dumping?
Trauma dumping. Yes. Whole new vernacular coming, folks. Actually, a whole new vernacular has been here for a while, in point
That's
of
funny.
fact.
I used to call it emotional vomiting.
Yes, and that's a good word too, but they like to say dump. But
I really can't stand that word. Like when they use dump in cooking, dump 2 cups of flour. Dump? That's disgusting.
dump cakes
Stop.
in a crock pot. Anyways,
Go on.
and I'll notice myself doing it too. Sometimes I start talking about something and I literally cannot stop. Okay, and here's the key. If you feel the need to do it, do it. If someone else is doing it to you, let them do it. Listen, hear what they have to say.
You don't have to contribute. All you have
You
to
don't
do
have
is
to
look at
contribute
them.
one iota.
Just give them focus.
You just have to make sure that you put them in a place where they don't feel silly for doing it. Because we need to sometimes.
Yeah, it's called giving someone attention.
Yes. So, at the end of the day, if you find yourself in a position where it seems like the person I'm sorry, it gets worse. Man keeping, they're now blaming. And
On women?
I think, no. I think there's a number of factors to it. I think it's bigger than this. But supposedly, like 60% of all men who are eligible, who are single, not in a relationship, are online dating. Okay, fine. It's a way to meet women and the rest of it. 60%. On the female side, it's like 38%. And there's a lot of women saying it's because they don't want to deal with the drama. They don't want to deal with the man trauma dumping on them.
Really?
And having to support the man, keep the man propped up, make sure the man is okay. Because we're supposed to be the bad stoic. We're supposed to be these emotionless, I can take anything. But then when a woman gets close to us, then all of a sudden we trauma dump all over her.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're starting to date, you don't want to emotionally vomit everything.
Exactly.
Why don't you wait?
Well, no, and that's just it. They're finding out men do wait, but then they still do it. Okay? And the keys there are, number one, for the love of God, trauma dump on your friends.
Honestly, Matt,
not your significant other.
I think we're at a point, and I said this years ago when we started, we're at a point where no one has the capacity to hold the vomit.
Right.
I remember like when I was in my early 20s, my friend got sick. She drank too much and I was trying to get her on the bus. She couldn't make it. She runs into this other pub. We were in England and she was in the lobby of this place, of this building, and she just threw up everywhere on carpet. And I had to scoop it up with my hands and clean it up. But I have the capacity. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was energetic. I didn't have, other kids to take care of. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did it. I just did it.
Right.
But, like, nowadays, I mean, I'd be like, I don't know. I would handle it differently. Like, even if I did clean it up, I don't have the capacity to hold anyone's metaphorical hair or vomit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think you should say blanket, like women can do it with each other or you can do it with friends. I think we're at a point where it's not just with men. I don't think anyone can handle their own personal stuff, let alone someone else's. And that's why we have this podcast, because every week we're trying to talk about something that's worth talking about, worth looking at, worth doing, to help us to have better capacity, more capacity to be able to hold one another. Maybe you guys are just now waking up to this man keeping. Maybe you're realizing that you have this need, and I think that's a great step, is you have this need to have someone hear you. And I think once we realize how much of a need exists, that a psychologist alone could be kind of like a vapid situation sometimes, where this is why we need community,
Right.
where we can hear each other. Maybe this one person can't handle it, but this other person in the community can. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's more than two people. So if it's this person that really needs to express themselves, maybe talking to a group of people where collectively everyone has maybe 10% energy,
Right.
but amongst 10 people you have 100% energy.
Right.
That this person can still be held. And that's what we need. We need a group of us. We need a little neighborhood. I'm starting to not even use the word village anymore. When we started years ago, I said tribe, but I feel like I shouldn't use tribe anymore. And then community, and now I'm like, ugh, community. Like there's certain words that have now been, the meaning of it means something else. So I'm having trouble speaking because I'm like, how do I say a group of us that hold each other? Whatever it is, community, whatever it is, family. It doesn't have to be a family that you were born into. I'll just start saying family, creating a family where there are a few people who can hold. So if you're not as strong, you are stronger together.
Right.
But these people at Stanford or wherever they're from, this is nothing new. I can't believe people get paid for this.
Well, yes, but the key is the measurements that they did, and they're seeing eligible women who want to date dropping out because they don't want to deal with men's drama.
Because they're tired.
Because they're exhausted of having to, quote unquote, fix the man.
No, they're exhausted having to do whatever they had to do to become who they are. And the woman needs way more energy physically to bear a child, to take care of the child. Who snores while the baby is crying? Who's like...
That would be you, Fawn.
Any little whimper, it's always the mom who has to get up and feed from their bodies, which is lovely, by the way. I totally miss breastfeeding. I loved it. But it does take everything out of you. Women are tired. Exhausted.
Right.
And so are men. I don't mean to knock down what you're saying and to belittle what men are going through. You've all had to shut everything down for a long time and just shove it in and be stoic.
In the bad way.
Yeah, it's not healthy.
Right. It isn't.
But I think that women have also become like men now, where they're hiding their emotions.
And there you go. And that's what I want to say is... let go of the gender roles. And if, be a nurturer when it's appropriate to be a nurturer. As a man, as a woman, doesn't matter. On some level, be a nurturer. And so listen to someone when they want to tell you all about the... And this is my earliest example. When I met the bass player from Iron Maiden, and he gave me an autograph, and it was so cool, and I was like 16, and nobody cared. At least pretend to care and say, wow, that's really cool. Oh my God, really?
Well, I remember hearing this story a few times, and I always thought it was super charming how like geeked out you would get over it, and how excited you were. Like, I didn't know this person. I didn't really like listen a whole lot to their music.
Right.
But what I found fascinating was your entire journey to like get that that recognition and how excited you were. I'm like, look at Matt, because Matt is like too cool for words sometimes. Just too cool, too tough looking, too whatever it is. But for you to be like, oh my God.
I know it was beyond exciting. I mean, of all the people I could have met, that was the one I most wanted to meet from that band.
Right. No, but I'm just saying, like, when you meet someone, they're telling you a story. You may not relate to what they're talking about, but relating to, look at this way this person has reacted.
Right. And you can relate to the energy behind it.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Because everybody's been through exaltations and terrible things. And so we can, as we say, pain is pain, but joy is also joy.
Yeah. Good way to put it, honey. Absolutely. Yeah. People think, oh, well, my pain isn't as bad as what you went through, so I don't want to talk about it. No, pain is pain. It hurts. It still hurts. Same with joy. You're absolutely right, babe. I never thought about it like that.
Right. And just because I was extremely joyful about meeting the guy from Iron Maiden, And likewise, you were so excited to, get a letter back from Henri's wife.
Oh my God. Yeah. Henri Cartier-Bresson.
And I get it.
My
I
favorite
totally get it.
photographer. Yeah.
But anyways, back to man keeping, which was the subject. If you're in a relationship, don't, what's the word for it? Don't do too much emotionally vomiting on your significant other or trauma dumping or the rest of it. Spread it out. And when somebody comes to you and they're in a place where they're in a similar spot where they need to quote unquote trauma dump, let them. Just because they give it to you doesn't mean you have to keep it and walk with it.
Right.
But you can at least accept it and say thank you.
What if we trauma dumped in other ways, like writing it on a piece of paper, like writing it out and then burning it?
Yes, but we're social animals, and so we
Yeah.
like to.
Well, I mean, to do that first.
Shared pain is always lessened.
I know, but like it lessens the crazy angst.
It can, yes.
So then you can, when you talk to someone, you don't give them any triggers, or you don't give them any.
True.
Like you don't surround them with it, but you say, "Oh my God, this is what I'm going through."
Right.
It's not the first time you're talking about it. It's like, oh my God, this is a terrible example, you guys. I'm really sorry. And for little kids, please go away right now. But remember that movie, All About Mary? No, what was it called?
There's something about Mary?
There's something about Mary. You know how the guy was going out on a date?
Mm-hmm.
And the advice given to him was, before you go, do the thing. And then he does.
Mix a batch.
Is that what he said?
No, but that's what I'm saying now.
But it's kind of like that, release some pressure.
Yes.
So when you do the thing, that you're in control a little bit.
Well, and also so it's not uppermost in your mind.
Right. But do you understand the
Yes.
example
Mm-hmm.
why I gave it?
Yes.
Oh, I feel so stupid. Okay. That's about it.
Okay, sounds good.
Talk to you soon.
Be well.
Bye.